All right, it's the rundown. Monday, August 5th. Little Monday, Summer Monday squad, we'll call it. Handsome fellas, three handsome fellas. What else could you possibly want? Maybe not some of the Monday crew, but a great Monday crew nonetheless. Plenty to talk about in this world. And I'm going to send it to my good pal, Rico Bosca, to tell you who has sponsored this wonderful rundown for us.
Yeah, it's High Noon. Here's the tea about High Noon's all new vodka iced tea. It's made with real vodka, real iced tea with no added sugar and no carbonation. If you're a hard tea lover who is done with sugary and malty based teas, you're going to love High Noon vodka iced tea. With 90 calories, High Noon vodka iced tea is great for any occasion. Under the sun, it comes in our 4 delicious flavors you've got to try. Original peach, lemon, and raspberry. Visit highnoonspirits.com to find a pack near you.
Beautiful thing. Pretty much spent my whole weekend. I was up in Saratoga, a little bit of horse racing. We were drinking some high noons, and then just going back to the house, watching a whole lot of Olympics. So I think that's going to be our first topic. We have an Olympics grab bag to open up the episode. We can kind of go whichever way you guys want. I feel like the 100-meter dash is always like, if not the number one story of the Olympics every 4 years, it's like top 3. So Noah Lyles wins the gold in the 100-meter dash. Photo finish, I thought like 4 other people won. I thought he came in like 5th place. And then they do the whole, it has to be the clavicle across the finish line, a bunch of nonsense. So Noah Lyles winning it was absolutely incredible. Nikki, are you an Olympics guy?
No, not really, to be honest with you. I did watch that, and I think the announcer probably ruined one of the greatest moments in sports history. I mean, like you said, like you thought he came in 5th. I couldn't tell you who won. There was a guy that was maybe a pubic hair away from Noah, like in terms of how close he was. He didn't even get a medal.
That's
Like
the crazy thing I saw.
That's how close this race was. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was nuts. You can even tell Noah, like, he's a shit talker. And I imagine, Nikki, you might have talked a few shit back in your day, on the
Oh
field
yeah,
and
I
stuff
love
like that.
talking shit.
And it was very weird seeing him like not being able to talk shit because he thought he lost, I think. And then as soon as it was, Lyles comes off, he's waving his sign to the crowd. It was an absolutely electric moment, other than the announcer botching it. Bosco, what was your take on it all?
Just that photo was unbelievable to see when the guy is, like he said, like this far away and he didn't place. He didn't medal. That guy didn't medal, and that's the fastest man on earth. And you're like a quarter of a second behind him, if that. Tenths of a second, 5/10, whatever it was. But it's just unbelievable. But yeah, anytime you're going to line people up and race, it's like Seinfeld. Like people wanted to watch that race. It's 2 idiots running. Like, of course you're going to watch the fastest man in the world. So I'm not a huge Olympics guy, but I'm always going to watch the race.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's like just baked into the human DNA. I don't know about you guys, but like I remember like dating back to kindergarten. The coolest, biggest kid in school at that point from like all elementary school was the fastest kid in school.
Right.
And he would run the races, and then you're just like, oh shit, that kid can fucking run. Do you guys still remember your fastest kid from your grade in elementary school?
Oh shit, no, I don't. But I remember I was one of the slowest kids in my elementary school.
Me too, brother. Me too.
I was always getting tagged out on what do we call it, jailbreak or something? Yeah, and then there's just kids that just flew. I don't think they're in the Olympics anymore, but they might be. Who knows?
Yeah, I remember the kid.
Oh, it sounds like he might have been a Skeller, Rico, by the way.
He was. I mean, he just asked a lot of questions. He always brought up trains. Like the teacher would ask a math problem, and he would somehow relate it back to trains that him and his dad loved. It was bizarre, but he was a fast fucking kid.
And
he loved trains with his dad.
He loved trains. He loved trains with his dad. He did. He loved trains with his dad.
We had our kid was Chris Sorey, I remember, and then we had 3 elementary schools in our school district, and like your fast kid would then race against all the other kids in like the track meets or whatever, and it was like our gladiator basically. Like he was going to defend us against everyone else in like the Hunger Games, and then when he come back as a hero if he won, or if he lost, we just say the other team cheated. It's like that shit I think travels across the world how the speed works. Scotty Scheffler wins the gold. So on here, John Rich said he's now this year has a green jacket, gold medal, and then Jake Marks pointed out had an orange jumpsuit and a fucking baby this year. Is this the craziest year a golfer has ever had? Like Tiger might have the more successful years in the past, but like just craziest year, I think this has to be number 1. No?
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's also crazy. It's a golfer too. Like if you told me this was a basketball player or whatever,
a Georgia football player.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be like, all right, par for the course. But it's a golfer who like is the nicest guy in the world, and he got in that whole controversy. It's nuts.
I loved it, and I love Scotty Scheffler. I'm such a big Scotty guy. I mean, like you said, he's just one of the greatest people on planet Earth. Like, wouldn't swat a fly, which is why it was so crazy when he did get arrested. And then he goes out there and birdies the first hole after being arrested, just in an all-time moment, has his kid, and then a bogey-free 62 on Sunday to win gold for your country, and you could just tell how much it meant to him. He's over there crying on the podium when they're playing the national anthem. You just don't have that American pride in today's athletes anymore because they're all fucking communist pieces of shit. So it was good to see like a true good American hero have some pride for this country and really appreciate hearing that national anthem being played at the Olympics.
I feel like it's good for golf too that there's like a golfer everyone can unite around. And I'm a very casual golf fan, but I know like some guys that have been big, and Bryson, and I don't even know half these guys, but I think like some of them are loved, some of them are cocky. Then in the Barstool world, Dave hates people, or people aren't cool with us, or they're cool with part of my take. And it's like I don't really know who's good. It seems like Scotty Scheffler is basically like 100% approval rating, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And I think him getting arrested even boosted that even more.
He played it off
just
fucking incredibly. Yeah.
Unbelievable year for Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, so I can't wait to see what he has next. I mean, shit, still have like 4 months left in the year. I don't know what the golf schedule is like. Staying with the U.S., I guess I saw Simone Biles. I think she just won a silver, but she went out of bounds. But her routine was so difficult, she still got silver after it was done instead of getting her the gold. Someone from Brazil won gold. Someone from Brazil won gold, and then we have someone in the U.S. winning bronze. Am I like crazy for saying this? I feel like the Michael Phelpses and Katie Ledecky's of the world have like poisoned my brain, where it's like you have to sweep your fucking events in gold in some people's mind to be like the GOAT,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I feel like Michael Phelps even had a couple silvers here and there because like Simone's already won gold, I think, a couple times this Olympics, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that Brazilian girl, that was her first ever gold medal, and her and Simone and the other gymnast girl kind of like paid their respects to her and like bent the knee, I guess, as she was walking up for gold. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, she's one of the greatest to ever do it. Anyone that's like shitting on her for coming in second is just a clown.
Somebody brought this to my attention, and I was like, oh, and it kind of soured me on these events a little bit. Boxing, gymnastics, and I think there's one more, but I'm forgetting which one it is. They're the only events that are left to judges. Like the rest of it, the runners, they settle it themselves. So I kind of soured on gymnastics a little bit when I was like, oh, you know what? That's a good point. Like someone else is saying who's the best out there. Now you could say that what they do, you could tell that somebody's better than somebody, but it's still opinion based. So I soured on gymnastics a little bit.
That's fair.
I'd rather leave it up to the competitors. You know what I mean?
Kind of like with figure skating.
How the competitors
Figure
going to decide?
I know that's just it's the chicken and the egg, but it soured me on it just a little bit.
Yeah, you always have you have different countries to judge. The Russian judge is going to give you a point less and shit like that. So that is something that could definitely sour you on it.
Are we going to talk about female boxing? Or are we going to leave that one out?
I mean, I'll leave that one up
or
to you.
Female boxing?
We'll leave that one up to the editors. I guess we'll talk about it and we'll see if they keep it in or not. I mean, that whole controversy, it's like I saw people were going crazy about it, and then there was like the wave of facts that came in. It's like, no, this is what it is, and then it's just crickets. It's just another day in the world, right? It's like, and that was the biggest story for a day, and the next day everyone just forgot about it. It was fucking bananas.
Isn't that crazy? Like that's just how the 48-hour rule. You could do whatever you want. 48 hours go by, and no one gives a fuck anymore.
Unless you're Bosco. Everything Bosco has in his past always seems to get brought up around every college football season. Bosco, you're about to. Are you getting nervous now that you're going back to the Thunderdome?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's been peace times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There hasn't been much really.
I wouldn't even say it's been peace, Rico. You've been slamming mics, barking at press, fucking grabbing people by the neck.
Who'd I grab by the neck?
Dave?
I didn't grab him by the neck.
High collarbone.
I think more belly, a little more belly, but I mean, yeah, it's relatively peace times. Like they're grasping for stories. They're saying I'm asking for helicopters.
So you were just joking.
I said to Jack, "There's no flights." I was like, "I'm gonna have to drive." Like I'm talking to him like as we're just working through it.
All right, so I'm not sure the way you're describing it. Then it was a joke.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, yeah, there's no helicopters. I was like, they wouldn't pay for that. Like, it's fucking.
Yeah.
That Jack's nuts, dude. Jack's nuts. This is
Wait
nuts.
a minute.
Like, this is like, we've gone from, it used to be New York Post. Like, I had legit headlines of what I was doing. Now we're in a little bit of like National Enquirer. It's like they saw me on a UFO, like next. You know what I mean? It's a little bit, we're stretching a little bit here.
You and the vampire kid are going to be on the cover pretty soon together.
Exactly.
Right? Like, I feel like that kid lived on the fucking cover of the Inquirer back in the day. The last note I had here was the basketball stuff. Team USA is running through it so far. 3-on-3. Honestly, Get rid of the 3-on-3 basketball from America. That's a fucking disgrace. Lose
Yeah.
21-6 to the Netherlands.
I got friends on the staff. I got friends on the coaching staff. So I'll say it was a tough break. Jimmy was playing hurt. But it is tough that we turned the park event into an Olympic thing. And now we got flag coming in 2028.
Yeah, that's tough.
3-on-3 basketball is just the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then I tuned in to watch it. You get a rebound, you have 12 seconds to shoot. These guys are just chucking up threes the whole fucking time. It's a disgrace to the actual game of basketball. Everyone knows 3-on-3 is a pickup thing. There's nothing professional about it. We sent out the fucking Looney Tunes squad before they started drinking Michael's magic stuff. I mean, I couldn't even tell you who those three bums were. If we're going to do it right. Send out some 3 guys who are dogs and win fucking gold. If not, leave us the fuck out of it. There's no reason for us to get embarrassed by Netherlands 21-6.
Yeah, it's tough. I love Jimmer. If you didn't love Jimmer, it's like you're just an asshole.
Yeah, you loved Jimmer 12 years ago when he was in his prime.
Yep, that's fair. At this point, if you're not going to win, just throw fucking, I'm sure Hot Sizzle and the Professor, just make it fun out there. If we're going to lose, at least make it look flashy and lose. And if this is coming to our turf in 4 years, right?
Yeah.
You can't lose at home.
No, they got to figure something out. To lose 21-6 is crazy, too.
Yeah. To the Netherlands?
I think they need to put a limit on how many games they could add. It's just getting ridiculous. Air pistols, 3-on-3 basketball. I mean, they had speed walking. What was that last Olympics? Or did they have that this year too?
I'm waiting for the recreational games. I'm waiting for the recreational games when they put can jam and slam ball, or not slam ball, spike ball into the fucking Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, they'll have an all USA Bender team, and me and Smacky Tables will have to be ripping alligator lines off tables faster than the people from Cuba. It's fucking crazy.
Oh man, there were some. I was in Florida earlier this year, and there was a Florida Man games. And there was all this crazy shit Florida men had to do. I think we can throw that into the fucking mix for the Olympics. Why not? Let's rock and roll with that. Moving on.
Volunteer tribute.
Nick, you would have been great. There was a TV show that my brother turned me on to 10 years ago. It was called Keys to the VIP, and they would have different games of how to pick up women. One of them was you had to pick up a woman without speaking. And these guys, it's the best show ever. These main guys, see if you can find it on a streaming platform.
Keys to VIP?
Keys to the VIP. And then these guys would judge, and they'd be like, oh, okay, I like Clem's style. I like what he did here. They'd be like, I like Nikki. And then at the end, they would pick who wins, and they get VIP with their boys at a club. It was the dumbest game show on the planet. But I used to watch it at 11 o'clock on Spike or something like that. It was unbelievably hilarious.
Maybe I'll make that a Barstool spinoff.
Yeah. Keys to the VIP. It was fucking unreal.
I'm looking at these pictures of these guys, and they're in their clubs, and vests and Nikki would be in the background if he wasn't 7 when this thing was filmed.
Yeah,
this is incredible.
I was in college, and I used to you'd come back from the bars, the reruns would be on. It was fucking unbelievable. That's the show you were built for, Nikki. Keys to the VIP.
Our Barstool original programming should just be rebooting all the shit MTV and Comedy Central just scrapped when they stopped caring about their stuff. Because there was Secret Library, one of my favorite shows of all time. I could just watch that shit for hours.
Next was unbelievable.
Next Room Raiders.
Yeah, I mean the Rock, and still waiting for Rock and Jock to out. Just bring back Spring Break. Imagine if it's Nikki hosting fucking a countdown of the top 10 music videos. Let's just go full retro. But
you know that it's Nikki starts those, then we have Mincy involved, and shit just gets crazy. It's Barstool, it's a circus. Yeah. So you
Mincy doing the whipped cream contest. I see that could be problematic. Or Mincy introducing Dr. Dre and singing live. That could be a problem.
Never live unless Big Cat's there. We have to have
some of those performances were fucking Eminem in a full velour sweatsuit, as Rebecca Romaine walks by, and he's about to slide. It's just on. Nick, that's.
I wish I was old enough to know what you guys were talking about.
It
sounds great.
It's long story short. Put it this way, MTV used to host the Spring Break, and that was their programming for the week. And you never knew when it was, but you would come home from school and turn it on, and you were just glued. At 10 years old, it turns boys into men. They had a whipped cream contest. They had Jerry Springer come down there once. Eminem performed. Dre performed. Biggie performed. They had who's who of legends. It was the goddamn best.
One day, hopefully, Rico. If that could be us, that could be Barstool. If we can reboot that shit down the road. Another Barstool thing, obviously Michigan football. So the latest going on with this, it sounds like this is there's going to be a decision or something's coming out with the news because it sounds like we're getting a lot of leaks here. The NCAA found that Michigan coach, is it Sharon Moore, deleted 62 text messages with Connor Stallions the day the report came out. Moore is one of 7 staffers accused of violating NCAA rules, and Michigan is facing a potential playoff ban while Jim Harbaugh is in his fucking like RV in LA right now, just getting ready to coach Justin Herbert for the next decade or so. So I'll yield it to you guys. Rico, obviously you do the college football stuff. What do you think about all this stuff going on with the?
I used to care so much more of this. I'd be like, they didn't win a title. What matters is what happened on the field. They won. They were better than everybody. You can't take that away. Like at this point, I don't care. And then you're gonna ban them. Like for what? It's better when they're involved. It's better when they're in the mix. Like I don't know. I'm just over this story. It was very hilarious though that Connor Stallions just has a closet full of other teams' polos, so he can and fake press passes so he can go on the sideline.
Kind of like you.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I respect it. But he's got more. He's got credentials, so it's unbelievable. But I don't know. The whole story is fucking hilarious. Stallions running a manifesto. The whole thing, like, I'm kind of over it. They won. It's over.
Yeah, I think sports are just way too late when it comes to making rulings on things that are fucked up. Like, for example, the Astros cheated. And now you have Michigan, the New England Patriots, notorious scumbag cheating fucks that get away with everything. You have Manchester City, who just breaks every financial fair play rule in the Premier League in soccer. So, like, they always wait to lay down the hammer after these cheating scumbags go out there and win their respective championships. So, like Rico said, the damage is already done. If you want to ban them, great, but it's not like that. The team that they're going to roll out this year is going to make any noise in college football. Everyone left. The team absolutely blows. No one knows what they really have in their head coach, besides he fucking cries after every game they win. I wish Michigan is sent to hell for the next 10 years. I have no respect for cheating scumbags who cheat the game. So, yeah, I hope they get banned. Now, do I care? No, I think Michigan's going to be irrelevant anyway this year. It's just funny to see Captain Dave, flipping sides when his team gets caught cheating. But when other teams get caught cheating, he wants the law hammered down. He wants titles stripped and vacated. So it's just funny to see people flip-flop and show their true colors.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it all goes down. And I mean, Dave will be at the front lines, was at the front lines for the Patriots, was guarding that wall the entire time with Tom Brady and deflated footballs. So I'm sure
I thought Tate bodied Perez yesterday on Twitter. That video was great if you haven't seen it.
Captain Tate here. Sorry I've been out on the water all day working on this perfect tan, but I just got back and I got to see Captain Dave's video telling Ohio State fans to quit crying about sign stealing and to beat Michigan on the field like men. And I'm fine if that's Captain Dave's opinion on sign stealing. The only problem is that's not Captain Dave's opinion on sign stealing. In fact, and I'll directly quote Captain Dave, that there is simply no place for teams that videotape the opponent's signals in any sport. And according to Captain Dave, teams that do that, governing bodies should come down hard and they should vacate their tainted championships because sports are a game of integrity. That's Captain Dave's words, not mine. Goes further with Captain Dave, though. Captain Dave says that Ohio State fans are crying about cheating, when Captain Dave must have forgot that Captain Dave was the loudest crier when Ohio State players got tattoos and didn't even pay for them. That's Captain Dave crying, not me.
It is preposterous just to think about when we lived through that tattoo scandal, if you even want to call it that, and the fucking judgments that came down from that. And then it's like you have this kind of stuff coming out. And this is why the NCAA is fucked. You can't just you either punish all the guys who weren't even playing last year, right? Because it'll be all these new guys and coaches. The coach isn't even there. And then you're going to take down the banner. Everyone who was drinking the champagne and smoking the cigars and have the rings and everything, they don't give a I'm sure the college is bummed they can't put the banner up anymore. Other than that, it's everyone acknowledges Michigan was the national champion last year, so they're just fun.
Are they not going to put the banner up? That would be crazy.
Nuts.
I feel
Michigan's
like that has
gonna
to be
put it
on
up
the table.
anyway.
Yeah.
Michigan's gonna put it up. I mean, they're gonna fucking put it up.
We'll go to another concontroversial thing here. So we're going to move to the pop culture world now. The House of the Dragon finale was last night. Season 2, episode 8 went live, and pretty much I'd say 90% of the reaction is, what the hell was that? Anger, disappointment, I think, more than anything. We had our Game of Stools live, and we were crying, complaining, bitching, and moaning about felt like a filler episode for an entire season. Some cool shit along the way, but it felt like it was like just building up for a full season after I was told this season was going to be awesome after last season, after season 1 was kind of a build-up season. And now I'm being told, well, wait for season 3. And at some point with Game of Thrones, you fucked me at the end of the Game of Thrones series. I'm feeling like I'm getting fucked all over again. I'm starting to lose my mind. Nikki Smokes, however, has quite the opposite take. So let us know what you think about this one, Nikki.
This is exactly why I waited until today to watch your guys' Dragon Report, because I knew you fucking immature little bitches were going to be crying about, oh, there's no dragon fight, there's no this, there's no that, why we watch the whole show. Grow up, please, Clem. And I love you and I love Robbie. KFC and me, we're cool. But the reactions you guys gave yesterday were just so ridiculous. Like, appreciate the storytelling, appreciate how amazing that episode was. Yes. Would it have been cool to see Vhagar burn the city down? Yes. I do believe we were robbed of that scene. If you want to be upset about that, by all means. But to just label this whole season horrible when you had one of the best dragon fights ever, I think it was really the only one that we've seen. That was amazing in episode 4. And yes, the finale, did you want war? Did you want people dying? Yes. But the shit that was told without having to go to war was insane. We finally understood why Daemon was tripping balls for all of season 2. It finally makes sense that he understands his true purpose, because he was fighting the whole time with himself. Am I supposed to be king? Do I hate Rhaenyra? Do I want to start my own thing? Do I want to join Rhaenyra? And now he finally has a realization of what his real role is in this whole scheme. And then you have Alicent, who's basically the reason why all this shit happened, is like, you know what? Yeah, I fucked everything up. I destroyed the realm. And now I'm like, you know what? I don't really want to do this anymore. When Aemon goes to fight whoever the fuck he's going to fight in the first episode of season 3, we're just going to lay our swords down and you could just plop right up on the throne, no problem. And then Helena might be the most powerful piece to the puzzle that we've seen. She's telling Aemon, yeah, guess what? You're useless. You're going to die. Aegon's going to end up being king anyway, so you could do whatever the hell you want. At the end of the day, doesn't matter. You're already fucked. I thought it was beautiful. I think Aegon is going to be the one that ends up killing Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra's going to get the throne. Aegon's going to come back, and I think he's going to wipe her. I thought it was amazing.
That's what the sister keeps saying. She keeps dropping the fucking spoilers on us, Helena.
That part was spoiled from Game of Thrones when that scum fuck Joffrey was telling what's her face.
Hey, no spoilers. I don't know what you're talking. No spoilers out here, Nikki Smokes. No spoilers.
Whatever.
Rico,
you've already seen it. You've seen it.
Rico, did you? Are you a Thrones guy? Are you a Dragons guy?
I begrudgingly watched Thrones like live. I caught maybe after 2 seasons I caught up, or 3 seasons, or whatever. And then the way that they pulled the wool out from your eye, or pull over your eyes at the end of it, and how bad that finale was. Shame on you guys for even watching this show. I know it's a great concept, but you don't think they're gonna fuck you at the end of this one too? Shame on you guys.
I like, for all the complaining we did last night, we said it was a pretty good season, had its moments. We just wanted more for a finale episode. They were like, I mean, Nikki Smokes, if you're going to defend that mud wrestling bullshit, the chick just wandering through fields, drinking water, fucking Corliss talking to his bastard for the 10th time during a Thrones finale. This thing used to mean something. We used to be a proper country, Nikki Smokes. Come on. What are we talking about here?
The mud bath was dog shit. I'll give you that. I'm not saying the finale was perfect, but everyone burning the whole show to the ground. I'm not watching season 3. Shut the fuck up. You know your bitch ass is watching season 3. And the director came out and said season 3 is going to be all about war. And I think they set it up perfectly. Now, dude, we have major blue balls, and did my stomach hurt after the screen went black at the end of the episode? Yes, absolutely. But this is what we do. This is what we sign up for. This is why we watch Thrones.
Yep. No, it's true. And Trent said it best. He's like, I'm going to stomp my feet and complain about the season 2 finale. And then in 2 years, I'm going to be watching every single minute of season 3.
They got you by the balls.
Yeah.
And the only thing I'm disappointed in is the lack of tits and fucking.
Yes. If they had thrown a couple of boobs our way, I think it would have, cooler heads would have prevailed before everyone went crazy on Twitter. Or, even just a burning, a casual death. Whatever, though. Next, I do think, they're going to come in hot. It's going to be the first episode of season 3 is going to be like one of those firework factories light on fire videos where it's just pop, 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 and just things blowing up everywhere, just to, quench our bloodthirst that we have. So I'm still in on it. It's just I'm starting to get worried. And I do think we lost some people, but I think we're going to be all right in the long term. Book readers have assured me that, and the nerds never lie. And then the last story of the day. I don't even know how to fucking like set the scene. It's a Mad
Prefaces,
Libs.
yeah.
It's a Mad Libs. So RFK Jr., who's running for president, right? Independent, I guess, or whatever. He was on a podcast with Roseanne Barr. So again, we're dealing with fucking Mad Libs here. And there was apparently a dead bear in Central Park found in New York City years ago. And people were like, why is this little dead baby bear there? Well, apparently RFK said he was with someone. They hit the bear, killed it, and then he put the bear in his van. They went out like to eat. He was running out of time. So they ended up just throwing the bear in Central Park. So he basically copped to this like major news story that happened years ago, probably because the New Yorker was about to expose it right as his presidential races, we're starting at the home stretch in the political world. I don't even know what the fuck to make of this. So Rico, give me your thoughts on this.
Well, then he brings it back to Central Park and puts a bicycle next to it to make it like it's a bicycle act, because there was accidents that were happening a bunch of times in there, and somebody's going to expose to him, and he gets in front of the story and tells it to Rosie O'Donnell. The real key piece of this story is where they went to eat, and that shows you that nothing will disrupt a meal at Peter Luger. You can have a dead fucking bear in your car, and you have dinner reservations at Luger's, you're going. So that's what I took out of this. You don't miss anything for Luger's.
That's fair. That's a fair point.
I never heard of that restaurant, but hearing him try to explain that story hurt my head. Like, I had to watch it 3 times to understand what he was saying. It was one of the worst told stories I've ever heard. I was more confused after listening to him than I was reading John Scribb's breakdown of what happened. I mean, it was horrible. He did himself no favors.
No, he's not a good storyteller.
I think the thing with him too is I think when you are a Kennedy or someone who's uber rich or powerful from one of these legacy families, you're just not normal. So this is just a day. This was a crazy Tuesday in RFK's life, and it's like, oh, we get a bear and we put it there. Any of us happens to us, our fucking worlds are changed after that.
The Kennedys in killing though, like they're just the grandfather or the father, like with the drowning incident, that thing, they're just killing bears and going to eat fucking thick cut bacon. Like there's no regard for these people with killing. They're just like, I killed the bear. It's in the car, but give me more of the bacon and the steak. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. It's fucking Kennedys are nuts.
Baby bears are cute too. Like that's not good for your image. There's like you kill maybe if it's a raccoon, something innocent. And fucking bears are cute.
What are people doing in Central Park? This is like an episode of SVU mixed with like Animal Planet. Like nobody's in Central Park. He's just putting a bicycle next to a dead bear. How do you lug a fucking he's lugging a fucking dead bear out? That's crazy. I challenge that somebody saw this. Think about what you're carrying, dude. It's like carrying a fucking sectional couch. Like what are you fucking doing? It's bleeding everywhere. He wears suits. What the fuck? He's doing it to and from the restaurant.
And he's like, we're drinking, we're having fun, laughing. They think it would be funny if we put the bike there. I'm like, those people, like, so those are like the peak socialites. What the fuck kind of like conversations and daily lives are those people?
Yeah, it's nuts. Crazy story. But Peter Luger's is a steakhouse, Nick, in New York. You don't miss it. You don't miss it.
I'll have to try that if I ever come to New York. But I did see this couple walk out of a sex shop yesterday, and they were just smiling at each other. And I was like, I feel that, but I was like, if I ever got caught walking out of a sex shop with like the toy in my hand, I'd be a little embarrassed, no?
Yeah. Especially if it's somebody you know. Imagine if they ran into somebody they know.
I didn't know them, but they walked out. We made eye contact, and then they just started smiling at each other. It's like, yeah, he just caught us like being horny. I don't know. I thought that was weird.
What do you think is worse, being caught walking out of a fucking sex shop or waiting for a sex shop to open and you see somebody you know?
Whoa, that sounds like it happened to you.
No. I'm just throwing out a hypothetical.
If there is someone waiting for a sex shop to open, you have a serious problem. And I hope I'm not offending anyone in the company, but that is unbelievable, brother. Like, you know what time stores open, bro? Just go on Google and type it in. You don't need to be waiting in line for the poor guy walking into the sex shop at 9 a.m. and you and your girl are just sitting there dripping wet trying to buy a new toy. That's unbelievable. It's sick.
Well, from dead baby bears to sex shops, you gotta love. That's why you tune into the rundown. You never know where we're gonna head. As for the after show, we have a couple of things. But first, I gotta say, Nikki Smokes, the hair grew back all right. I
Yeah.
know you shaved it off in a wild, like, just rash decision. But shout out to you.
Thank
This
you.
Friday, rough and rowdy. We got Mikey Betts versus one of those able brother motherfuckers in a loser leaves town match. A loser leaves
Yep.
town match. Must watch.
Fuck you, Zach Gable, you little bitch.
Mikey Betts has man boobs.
He's twisted in half.
Joined Rough and Rowdy because of Frank. I need a fight for Frank. I don't like the Abel brothers.
The Abel brothers always bring it. The crowd is loving the action.
Frank, I'm gonna destroy your guy. This isn't gonna be close.
I never seeked my fights, but I've always got into a lot of fights.
We can watch it, but who's this guy he's fighting, dude? Like, is he an accredited fighter? Or is he a drunk guy in the parking lot?
He's a doughboy. He's a doughboy!
Fuck you. You got D-cup titties, you're fat as fuck.
I feel bad for Mikey. This man just got hired full time, and now he's fighting for his life. Literally, it's crazy.
He fights for his
Well, I
life
hope he
every
wins.
day. Now he literally has to fight for his life.
Yeah, I mean, working under Frank that's hell on earth in itself. So now he's got to fight for that, right? Like, imagine fighting to just keep working for Frank.
Yeah, fighting to get
Crazy.
yelled at about like the Mets blowing a 4-run lead and then winning the game at the end of the day and doing the hot dog reviews. That's tough. Nikki, you went to Lollapalooza. I saw it was mid, according to you, as the kids would say.
Yeah, absolute dog shit, horrible festival. I grew up, I was born and raised in South Florida, so I've been going to ultras, I've been going to EDCs, like I've been going to very high-end music festivals, and I've heard nothing but good things about Lala. And then I see the lineup; it's absolute dog shit.
Where
they
was it?
oversell it in Chicago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where they had the NASCAR race, and they had one tent in this whole venue that sold hard liquor. That's it, one tent selling hard liquor. You basically had to sit there and drink Tall Boys the whole time. And look, drinking Tall Boys and dancing and getting hyped to music is not a good mix at all. Like, the fact that they only had one tent that sold hard liquor, insane. The lineup sucked. The prices were ridiculous. And I know music festivals and concerts, you're always going to pay a premium for food and drinks. But usually the artists performing are worth it. There wasn't one single day at Lala where I was like, oh, I want to see more than one or two people. I thought it was terrible.
Fair enough. Rico, what's your last concert you've been to?
Hootie, Friday night.
How was that?
It was good. I ran into Cons in the parking lot.
Oh, that's right. Peace in our times.
Yes, it
Peace
was
in our
good.
times.
Crazy. It was right next to my boys' tailgate. We had a good night. But yeah, Hootie jams.
Well, and you know, I miss Cons, squashed the beef immediately, I can gather, and that's good to see. We're all growing, right? We're growing as people.
We're growing.
We're
growing.
getting better. We're getting better from that.
I think I'm
Also,
retired from music festivals after that.
that was it.
Yeah, like that's it. I'm done with this shit. I'm too old.
Number in the rafters. I had a buddy who moved to Miami, and he was doing all those electric shits, and I mean, they're the same way. Like they hit their point. Well, how old are you now, Nick?
I'm sorry.
How old are you?
I'm 25 now.
Okay, I thought 27. I thought was when they started to hang them up, but I mean, maybe if you
No,
go down to Miami,
I've
it'll
been
rejuvenate you.
going since I was like 15, 16
That's
years
true.
old. It's just an excuse to like pop Molly and do drugs. So I'm retired.
Fair enough. I saw Janet and Nelly live. It was delightful. It was Nelly was actually better than Janet, believe it or not. And that's pretty much the rundown. The stock market crashing. I mean, at this point, there's like a catastrophic event every day, and I think it's like, again, our brains are so broken by the news cycle. I'm just like, oh, that'll figure itself out, and I think it has. Has it figured itself out?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
I took all my money out a long time ago after I got burnt by COVID. I realized that if you don't have money, you're not making money in the stock market, and I just don't have the money to make money, so I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, I'm just one of the small fish that throws their little money out there, gets eaten by the big fish, and then I just walk away broke. I'd rather not do that anymore. So, Jersey Jerry warns us of this. He's like the fucking, he's like Nostradamus. You just wait for another Jerryism to come up and like, take over the world. So that's the rundown. We'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place.
All right.
It was a pleasure, fellas.
Peace.